Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we will begin by learning about the main method, then continue to practicing the use of variables while getting familiar with common Java syntax. Let's begin. You may still have a class file from the previous lesson. For first start, I advise to remove the prior class and create a new one. We will call it variables, since this is what we will practice in this lesson. Let's delete all the example code in this class and just leave the class name and curly braces. Now there is a very common method in Java called the main method, which we are going to learn about today. Think of it as a control panel you use to test your code. Or if you wrote some code in other classes and want to test it to see if it's working. For now, we will start by declaring it and writing our code in it. Don't let the syntax confuse you. It's very simple to understand and I will go over this very soon in the future. Notice that when we write our code to run, we write everything between the curly braces of the main method. Now we just will add a small comment with a double forward slash. For testing, let's print hello world on the screen with a very useful command, systemout println. We surround our message with parentheses and commas, and then finish with a semicolon. This is the compile button. Pressing on it will alert you for any syntax errors. In this case, we don't have errors and we are good to run our code. To do that, we simply go to our projects window, right-click on the class containing our main method, select the main method and click OK. And now we see our output. As long as we are here, let's do some small adjustments to BlueJay's interface. Choose both clear screen at method call and unlimited buffering, as we want our terminal to be cleared at each run and not to limit our output. Now coming back to the print line command, it will print an output line and then will go down a line for the next output. So if we write another print row, it will show up under it, like so. If we take out ln from our command, the output will be in the same line, like this. In the previous lesson, we studied briefly about variables, and now we will practice. I highly recommend that you type along with me, as I believe that you will learn better this way. Let's start by declaring an int variable named a. Now let's assign this variable to 5. Now let's declare and assign in the same line an int variable named b with the value of 4. Now create an int named result to contain the addition of a and b. Let's print out a and b and the result. We could instead do it on the go in our print command and do more arithmetics actions if you want. Okay, so now what about if we want to print our variables in a more friendly way? So to do this, we can just write a nice message on the screen with the help of our commas, as we saw before, as when we printed the hello world message. And usually when we want to print variables, we saw also earlier that we don't need any commas to do so. We just type in the variable name inside the parentheses. But what happens when we want to combine them together? When we want to print a message and, like, for example, the number is, and then print the actual variable. So for that, when combining these two things together, we use the plus sign, like this. There's also an option to add a tab, meaning a few spaces to your syntax, like this. Or make it go down a line, like this. We can use all arithmetic actions as we want in Java. For example, we can use modular. And for more advanced arithmetic methods, we can actually use a math class that is inside Java to get things like an absolute value, square root, power, etc. Now, what if we want numbers with decimal points? So for that, we can use double as our data type. Now we can also store words or phrases if you want, and to do so we use string. String is actually a class in Java. We have many string commands that we'll go over in the future, which do all kind of cool things, like combining two strings together, check if a string is equals to another string, cut a string in the middle wherever we want. But for now, let's store few words in our string. And that indeed concludes our video. There's much more interesting thing coming up, so stay tuned. I'm Akir, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.